I'm back. I thought since it was snowing, I could read you a short book about a little boy in the snow. I thought it was appropriate today. So here's my story. It's called The Mitten by Jan Brett. This is one of my favorite authors because I love the illustrations. Okay. The Mitten. Once there was a boy named Nicky. He wanted mittens as white as snow. Oh, do you see? On every page you'll see mittens on the side. It's the outline of a mitten. If you drop a white mitten in the snow, it will be hard to find, his grandmother told him. But Nicky wanted snow-white mittens so much that Baba made them for him. You see the mittens on the side? And then you see his grandma sewing the mittens. When she finished knitting, Nicky put on the mittens and went out to play. It wasn't long before one mitten fell off. Uh-oh, I see. He has a hand without a mitten. A little mole found it and crawled inside. It was just the right size, so he decided to stay. Do you see the mole? He's right there. A mole is kind of like a mouse. I don't know if you can see it. See any other animals? I see a white hare. Here's like a big bunny. A rabbit came hopping by. He wiggled in next to the mole. Look at that. The animals are making a home out of Nicky's mitten. A hedgehog wanted to get warm. The mole and the rabbit made room for him. There's a lot of animals in this book, the pictures. The owl didn't want to be left out, so the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog had to move over. The little mitten was getting quite crowded. Look it, they're all inside the boy's little mitten. A badger looked out of his house and saw the mitten. He climbed right in. This is the badger. They look cozy, don't they? There's the boy looking for his mitten. And who's that? I bet he's the next person I want to snuggle up in that mitten. It started to snow, so a fox pushed his way in and made himself right at home. Uh-oh. That mitten's getting crowded, and look who's coming. You think that bear's gonna fit inside the mitten? Then a big bear sniffed at the mitten. The animals were packed in tight, but the bear didn't care. He crawled in anyway. The mitten was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh my, that mitten is stretchy. Then a tiny mouse squeezed in and perched herself on the big bear's nose. Can you see that little mouse on top of the bear's nose? Look how cute. They're all snuggled inside a mitten. The mouse's whiskers tickled the bear's nose. What happens when your nose gets tickly? Achoo! The bear sneezed. All the animals flew out of the mitten. My goodness! What a catastrophe! Nicky saw his mitten sail up into the air. Look at that. See the mitten? That bear sneezed it all the way up into the sky. From the window, Baba watched Nicky catch his mitten. See, Baba, he called to her. We have an interruption. My dogs are barking. I think the mailman's here. See, Baba, he called to her. I have both my mittens. And Baba smiled. Look at that. I have a story for you. Now Baba looks at the mittens. One's the right size, and one is extremely large. It got stretched out. Now I have a question for you. Was that a true story or a pretend story? Can animals really go inside a mitten? Maybe a mouse, right? A mouse could fit in a mitten. But could all those animals fit inside a mitten? No, it's just a pretend story. But it's a good story. Okay, bye-bye.